just a lot of detail there. But let's go and look at what our net position looks like. And that is on page 13. And I really won't be very long. I'll be very brief. If you look at the name of this statement, it's called the Statement of Net Position. And it tells us at the end of the year, we had, and this is all funds, this is everything that's going on. We had $3.6 million in cash. We had $163,000 in prepaid. You saw that number as a set aside. We had $165,000 in taxes receivable. We had $70,000 in food service receivables. We had $281,000 in other receivables. $50,000 in deferred issuance charges, and that's where we issued our QZABs. There's a cost associated with QZABs that has to be amortized over the life of the bonds. PEI receivable, $517,000. Reimbursements receivable, $421,000. And then our capital assets, this is where all that $55 million is coming in at. So in land, our book value for the land that we own is $2.7 million. The buildings and improvements to the building is $57.5 million. Furniture and equipment, $3.9 million. Vehicles, $4.8 million. And an accumulated depreciation on all that is $14.2 million. So total capital assets net of depreciation is $54.8 million. Total assets on the GASB, $60 million, $60.1 million. Okay. Then this deferred outflow, that's going to be a GASB implementation next year. The only thing we changed this year was the name of the statement, which is depositions. Next year, you're going to see numbers in deferred outflows. Liabilities under the salaries payable and related payroll, we have $56,000. PEI premiums payable, $732,000. Accounts payable, $575,000. Other post-employment benefits, OPEBs, there's a $2 million. Deferred revenues, $568,000. Bonds, capital leases, contracts, $101,000. This is due within 1 year. Interest due on that is in 1 year is $5,790. And due beyond 1 year is $891,000. That's our QZABs. So total liabilities is $4.9 million. So then you get at the bottom and we come up with this net position. So net investment in capital assets is $53.8 million. We have to set aside $5,790 for interest payment, and the fund balance in the special projects is $14,000. So unrestricted is $1,324,000 for a total net position of $55,000. Now this is just strictly for the GASB, the governments, and all that. And then I want to take you to one other. Let's look at 17 for no. Okay, let's look at page 16 for 1 minute. And if you look across the top, there's your different funds, Gary, like that I was, the general fund, which is a 1-1. The special revenue is a 6-1. There's a special revenue ARA, that's a 7-1. The debt service, that's the 4-1. And then that's just all those numbers that I showed you guys, they'll just tie right back into this page here. You start with your revenues, your expenditures, your other sources, that's transfers in, transfers out, sale of assets, and then you get your net change in your fund balances. And all the way down at the end, you get your ending fund balance. So the $954,000, and I showed this on our little quick cheat sheet. See if I have that. But that's that number there that we tied everything back into. Now flip back to page 15 for a minute. And then this is just your balance sheet before we make those conversions to the net positions. This is kind of the old way that we used to do things. There's our assets, our liabilities, and our fund balances. But nowhere do you really see what we really have, that we really have $471,000. You just don't see it anymore.
And I think that's obviously the thing that
Yeah, right. And,
Appreciate all these other
Yeah.
things that happen.
yeah, so, like, and really, gosh, nobody knows what probably Trish is the only person who could even conceive how much work is involved in this. It's just, I really started in June, trying to get ready to close books, and then from then up until, really Friday, you're just working on this thing. It's massive, lots and lots of work involved in it, and I just try to, put it into some simple terms, the important things that you guys really need to know. So we did end up better this year than we did last year. We made some cuts, which, we needed to do. And, even though we have a little bit of money left over this year, I think we still have to look, be diligent, and try to keep ourselves going good. The other thing I would probably, on this, I had some statements here that I went ahead and attached to the back. Like on page 8. And this is that new statement that I gave you guys for your financial statements. That's, I think, is really good. And then you can compare the ending numbers this year to last year. So if you look at the regular instructional, this year was 17.2 million, and last year was 17.3. So not much of a change. Support services students, last year we had 1.3 million. This year we got 983. So that's the counselors that, those jobs that we cut. And the next group down, last year was 911, this year it's 771. That's that federal director's position that we eliminated. And then I just wanted to point out on this central office administration, last year was at 1.2, this year we're at 1.3, but that's its grievances, where we had to pay all that money. And, all the additional legal fees with all that. But the rest of them aren't, But I just wanted to show you guys that, because I think this is a nice little report for you guys to see.
Now, I don't know if we know the exact enrollment decrease, but we do have
Yes, but I don't have
Right,
this.
well, I'm just saying that's gonna impact,
Our funding.
yeah, the future.
Yeah,
Not
so
in a
everything's
good
based
way.
on enrollment. Everything's on enrollment. All right. Questions? Too much, not enough?
I got a question.
Okay.
And this may sound crazy, but do you know where we're at as far as based on U.S. on spending on education?
No, I don't think
Because what was it,
so. I think West Virginia's way up there, though.
Per pupil?
Yeah.
I think West Virginia's statewide is maybe $12,000. Does that sound right? You seen that number anywhere? But I think we're high.
I've seen it, but yes, we
Yeah,
are.
we're high. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are.
We spend a lot of money on our children. And now, and remember, I just gave you the general fund number. If I could give you all the special revenue account and the IRA account, it would be a little bit higher.
Okay, let's talk about
Okay.
this $9,300. Now, you said the state funds approximately 6,000. So the other 33, does that include federal monies?
That would be some federal, that would be your Medicaid money, and then it would just be, your taxes, local
Well,
tax
and your
collections.
levies, correct?
And excess levies,
So I'm just, obviously, I wouldn't expect you to know the
Yeah.
amount, but if we did not have our
Oh,
levies.
geez. That levy would pass, we just.
Well, I'm just saying, instead of 9,300 per student,
No, gosh, I don't know.
a couple of $1,000s less anyway, right?
But I'd say the levy was probably $3.8 million of that, excess levy.
I'm just trying to, I know, I don't expect you to know off the top of your head, but if we weren't to have that, what our per pupil expenditure would be, the state was 6, and then whatever federal and some of those other things were, you're looking at substantially less.
Yes.
He's
Mr.
ready for his
Lamble?
presentation.
He's riding with me, got another 2 and a half, over 2-hour drive.
I have another presentation on growth tomorrow, already.
We were getting ready to adjourn, and we're really speeded up now.
Let's have a quick question.
Okay, yes.
I know you don't have these figures in hand,
savings will be now that we don't have those equipment buildings?
Well, let's see, Pleasant, so we're looking at Pleasant View, Hamlin, and the primary, parts primary and parts middle. Really, we weren't out, you know, the insurance will be a little bit cheaper, but it wasn't that much, so insurance is not gonna be that much. But we really wasn't, Pleasant View didn't really have that much of a cost to us, neither did the Hamlin Junior High. And we pretty much shut down the primary. I mean, it was like just a little bit longer after they got out there. But, so the only place that we've had expenditures has been at Harts Middle School. And I don't know, maybe about, trying to think. I would say we'd probably spend about $10,000 by the time we paid all the utility bills up there.
So you don't think we'll have a lot of savings?
I don't see, no, because our property insurance is really just not very much at all. It's very reasonable, you know, I want to like maybe $50,000 a year for everything that we have. So, it'll be some, but not a substantial amount of money.
But we won't have some of that liability.
We won't have that liability and, you know, and everything's a drain, you know, so everything that we can keep into our pod is going to help us. Okay, so
Anybody
good.
have anything else?
Yeah.
It's like
Thank you.
a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Well, we appreciate all you all do. We know you have a lot to do here in your office. We appreciate what you do. Aside from the knowledge, we like you to keep us out of trouble, too.
Yeah, well, that's, I take that very seriously.
I know you do. Thank you very much. Probably the next time, I don't know by tomorrow if Fred will have analyzed all of this or not. We'll probably get some questions
Yeah,
next
you
time we
know,
talk to you.
And, you know, if you have a question, feel free to shoot me an email, you know, I'm on those emails all the time. So, you know, anything you'd like to know.
All right. Okay, now, this is all in one, A and B here first,
Yeah,
and going to August.
You have August, and, of course, you know, you guys, I think you know how to read that now.
Okay.
So, now, let me make one statement on August. I had to mark through the encumbrances on that because, and that was a new requirement from Dr. Ferris that we encumber payroll, but there ended up being a problem with that encumbrance that we couldn't get fixed. So I just marked through the encumbrances on there and it'll be correct in September. And it was just that payroll encumbrance had doubled up on me and just, I talked with the programs, they couldn't get it out. So I just marked through it and it'll just fix itself when you get your September statements.
Okay. Anyone has anything else or any comments or concerns? See if you have anything?
Not tonight.
Okay. Board members? Well, we need to let Ms. Lucas, Mr. Lynn will go back to Stonewall.
Yeah, we need to vote.
Oh, okay. Okay, we have motions on the floor on the finance items. We've got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Yes.
Anybody opposed? Okay, all yes votes. And there aren't any concerns or comments, I guess, so ask for a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Counselor, second by Wilkerson. Then all yes?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't know.